What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another New York Giants video. And in this video, we are going to evaluate the New York Giants tight end room. As things have been trending towards the offseason, it's looking more likely than not that Evan Engram will not return to the New York Giants in 2022, and potentially Kyle Rudolph as well if he is a cap casualty. But before I dive more into that, I want to remind you all to go check us out below on all of our social media platforms at Big Blue Avenue on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And I know I haven't really done many of these videos over the past week. There hasn't been much content to talk about in the Giants world. So now that things are, getting closer to free agency, we're going to put out some more videos on topics that we think pertain to the team. But before I get into that, we're proud to announce our new partnership with BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook, serving customers for 25 plus years, where you can bet on all of your favorite sports, and you can use our promo code below, JOIN125, and I'll pull a little graphic here up so you all can see it. Basically, you get a 125% sign-up bonus up to $2,500, and you can bet on the go, bet anytime, anywhere on your mobile device, get fast payouts, and enjoy live betting where you can bet during the game for the early and best lines. That's BetUS, where the game begins. Really excited to have this partnership with BetUS, and want to dive into our topic for today now, and that is the Giants tight end room. So yesterday, the Giants brought back tight end Chris Myarick, who spent a good part of the 2021 season with the New York Giants. He signed the contract on Wednesday. He started the season with the Giants. He was waived and signed to the Cincinnati Bengals practice squad towards the end of the season. This past season, Myarick appeared in 8 games for New York, had 3 catches for 17 yards and 1 touchdown. Again, that is 1 more touchdown than guys like Kenny Golladay and Kadarius Toney had. Everybody loves to throw that joke around, but Chris Myarick is back to the New York Giants, and this leads me into this topic about evaluating the New York Giants tight end room, because right now they're in a very interesting state. There are moves to be made this offseason, and the biggest thing to talk about with the Giants tight ends is Evan Engram is an unrestricted free agent. With the new GM and the new head coach coming in, it looks like that Evan Engram is on his way out after 5 years as a New York Giant. I'd be utterly shocked if he returned to the team next year, given his production over the past 3 to 4 seasons. So that's going to be interesting to talk about. Granted, the Giants also need to clear $40 million in cap space. So, premium positions on this roster, in my opinion, tight end being one of them, you want to draft a tight end this upcoming offseason. But we're looking at the tight ends currently remaining under contract on the Giants roster. And, the 2 names are Kyle Rudolph and Caden Smith. Now, we're going to evaluate the contracts now, folks, and I'll give you my opinion, and we'll start with Kyle Rudolph's contract. Joe Shane mentioned that he wants to clear up, $40 million, that is, this offseason. So apparently he wants to make a move or two in free agency, but, we'll look at Kyle Rudolph's contract now. So pretty much it's a 2-year deal that he signed in 2021. And you could see here this past season, he had a base salary of $2.15 million. And in 2022, I want you to look at these numbers here. The Giants would save exactly $5 million without any dead cap if they released Kyle Rudolph this offseason. They would accumulate $2.425 in dead cap because of his full contract, but you'd be able to save $5 million guaranteed by releasing Kyle Rudolph. And given his production this past season, and at 33 years of age with the foot injury, it may be in the Giants' best interest to part ways with Kyle Rudolph. Now, granted, he was a good blocker in the run game for the team, and he did make some good catches at times in the season. He also had like a 60-yard reception at some point, but there's other tight ends on this roster that can make contributions in 2022, and that I believe have better chemistry with Daniel Jones. And that brings me to the contract of Caden Smith. And a lot of you may not know who Caden Smith is, and unfortunately, that's due to the fact that the Giants coaching staff has not utilized Caden Smith in the way that they should over the past 2 years once Joe Judge took over. In 2019, when Pat Shurmur was head coach and Daniel Jones was a rookie, the Giants claimed Caden Smith off waivers from the San Francisco 49ers, and they put him under contract. So this is a guy who is a free agent in 2023, but as you can see, he was hurt this year for a good part of the season, and the Giants have much less of a cap hit with keeping Caden Smith on this roster. Now, they wouldn't accumulate anything in dead cap if they were to part ways with him, but I think Caden Smith is likely to stay because of his chemistry with Daniel Jones, both joining the team the same year. Remember, Caden Smith had that touchdown against Washington that prevented the Giants from drafting Chase Young. A lot of people like to argue, but this is a much more financially stable contract than Kyle Rudolph's. And I mentioned Caden Smith's contract, ladies and gentlemen, because the Giants right now are in a position where they are likely to draft a tight end in this year's upcoming NFL draft. Whether on day 2 or day 3, this draft class is strong for tight ends. And looking at our day 2 draft picks, the Giants have draft picks in the 2nd round. They have their own 3rd rounder, and they hold Miami's 3rd round pick because they traded back to select Azeez Ojulari. Now, day 3, the Giants also have 2 high picks. They have their own 4th round pick, and they own Chicago's 4th round pick. The trade down last year from number 11 so that the Bears could take their potentially new franchise quarterback at that spot. So now the Giants have 2 first rounders. They have 3 picks on day 2. So that's 5 picks on the first 2 days of the draft through the first 3 rounds, which is great. And you have 2 high 4th round picks. So your first 7 picks of the draft are relatively high. So that gives you the wiggle room to take a tight end in one of these 5 draft picks in day 2 or day 3. I don't think day 1 is a good idea. I don't think any tight end is worth a day 1 pick, but the depth in this draft class is crazy. Now, if the Giants don't draft a tight end and elect to roll with Caden Smith and Kyle Rudolph, let's say, heading into 2022, the 2023 draft class is even stronger at the tight end position. When you're evaluating the Giants tight end room in 2022, it's not a necessity to have a star tight end on this roster. The Giants could make Caden Smith tight end number 1 because he's a very underrated run blocker. He's created some good holes for running backs in the past, and he has proved to be one of Daniel Jones's favorite targets. But with the new offensive scheme under Jason Garrett the past season and a half to 2 years, Caden Smith was criminally underutilized. Other news in Giants world, ex-Giant Ike Hilliard signs a deal with Auburn football today. He is now an assistant coach there. He will be their wide receivers coach. So congratulations to Ike Hilliard. Very well-deserved. Folks, remember, BetUS, promo code is there, join125. Folks, and of course, if you like what you watch here in our YouTube video below, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Big Blue Avenue on YouTube, and then also on Instagram and Twitter as well. What do you think of the Giants tight end room? Do you think they should move on from Evan Engram? Do you think Kyle Rudolph is the guy? Do you think they should give Caden Smith a crack and pair him with a rookie heading into 2022? All 3 options are interesting, and I'm interested to see what you all think. So, folks, thank you all very much. Without further ado, let's go Big Blue.